Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dashcoin Research Podcast. I'm your host, Nicholas Wenzel, and today I'm joined by Justin, co founder of Giggles. Giggles is a new social media and content app. Justin, it's great to have you here.
Nicholas, thank you for having me.
So tell us, Justin, what's a little bit about your background? Like, how did Giggles come to be? And what were you doing before this?
So I'm 18, so my background probably doesn't stretch as far back as the other founders, but I guess I started in entrepreneurship back in elementary school. I started selling stuff on the playground, and but when COVID happened, I was locked in my room, right, playing Minecraft all the time, and I was like, I gotta do something with my life. I made Minecraft YouTube videos, and because I was able to combine Minecraft with memes together, I went viral a few months into it, YouTube, and I was making, a few $1,000s a month, and that was great for being like 14 at the time. I also did drop shipping, but eventually in 2022, I got banned on Minecraft, and so my YouTube channel was kind of cooked at the time. And so I was like, all right, I want to leverage my skills I learned from making videos and going viral into doing a company. That's when sort of my previous startup, Media Baby, came to be. We essentially helped a lot of firms get in front of Gen Z. Last year we did over 12 billion views. And a few months ago I exited for seven figures. And I guess I want to talk about Giggles now. Giggles actually also started um, a little bit after Media Baby. This is when TikTok was rumored to face a ban, um, and people were speculating, okay, there needs to be a new social media app to replace the TikTok users. And so I thought that Brainrot would be the future, and essentially started this trend of Google launching a social media app, and I commented Google Giggles under every TikTok post, under every Brainrot post, and that's where I got like the initial signups from. Like it was really absurd. So then people like went to my website. Right now we're at like 120,000 signups, and in college I met my co-founder Edwin. He's like sort of leading the development of the app. He's asleep right now, actually. He's really sick, but yeah.
Dang, I hope he gets better soon. It'd be cool to do maybe a follow up episode with Edwin too. But don't downplay yourself, man. That's a lot. I would say your entrepreneurship experience goes back even more than a lot of these Believe founders. Just because you're 18, doesn't mean anything. If you're making thousands of dollars doing videos on Minecraft when you're 14, that's fucking killer. And then you exited a company successfully. That's a huge part that you have, a huge like leg up that you have that other founders don't have. Hardly any of these people have actually sold a successful company and scaled it up to the point where someone would want to buy a company from them for seven figures plus. Uh, so I just want to hype you up a little bit, man. That's fucking impressive, and that's a big reason why a lot of people are excited to see what else you're up to in your life. Because you are so young, people want to be able to bet on you, and that's why I Believe is a great product. I think because it allows people to express conviction in you as a founder, and I want to get your story on what happened. Like, how did you launch a coin on Believe? Like, what started that?
So at the beginning, Giggles was supposed to be this Brainrot app, right? Gen Alpha, Gen Z. We've got vibe coding now, and like we see like Fortune girls building crazy games, and being so creative. And right now, the social media platforms aren't really, I guess, allowing them to monetize properly. Like the best sort of monetization we see right now is them launching a meme coin. I mean, you see some like trends starting to do that. But uh, a few months back, Edwin, again, we were starting to develop the app. And we had like the basic scrolling function that was basically like a TikTok app at this time. Um, but a lot of other social media apps for now, they don't really provide like a better offer. And so we were thinking like, what would be the better offer? And so that's kind of when like AI generated content creation came in. And also we thought of the engagement metric of Aura, right? Like it's more, it'll actually reward interaction creation like better than likes or comments and like the views that TikTok has. And then we also thought of how to monetize creators, and that's when Web3 came in. And I reached out to Ben. I think he posted a tweet about looking for like founders to launch through Clout at the time. And this is back in April. And after a few weeks of back and forth, like, we weren't initially sure about um, like launching a coin just yet. But then one of our the thing about me is like I love making things go viral for very cheap. And that's what our whole team is about. Like we want to make things absurd. And so we made the app cost $369 on the App Store, and people were like talking about that on social media as free marketing for us. And one tweet got 2 million views. Ben Pasternak saw it, and he was like, "All right, let's launch a coin tonight." And at this time, I was at my I was like outside, and I just pulled out my computer and hit the launch within an hour. So it was a bit of a rough launch initially. I don't know if you know, but we because of like a bug with the Believe app, we launched twice actually. So the first coin got like cooked. Um, but yeah, that was like the launching process.
Yeah, I've heard of that happening to a few other founders, like Kled, for example.
Right, yeah.
There's a whole hullabaloo about that, and shit happens. I mean, that's a risk that traders assume when they try to buy something super early. Like, yeah, it sucks, but it happens at the same time. And
Hmm.
Kled is cool. I mean, they're building an interesting product. I hope I talk to Avi someday as well. But I'm glad to see you just keep building. Has Twitter been stressful for you? Because I've talked to a few other founders who are like really not used to having degens like ask them for updates every 2 seconds and trying to get them to pump the price all the time. Like how's that been for you being on Twitter?
It's been very educational. I my Twitter account before launching Giggles had like a few hundred followers, had like 2 tweets. That's all I was on Twitter for. Like I had like no DMs. Right now I'm getting like messages like every minute and also on Telegram as well through the crypto Twitter community. It's definitely a lot to handle. But again, like, I think Avi actually said this, like diamonds are created under pressure, and that's definitely true. Like I learned so much over these past few weeks. And I guess as far as the crypto experience goes for me, first time I bought like a crypto coin was like that was last year. Um, last year, and I lost like 50K on meme coins. Um, but after that, I had like a SEO side hustle, and I did SEO for like OKX, Pudgy Penguins. So yeah, I guess like my expertise is not exactly in crypto, but sort of in marketing and distribution. I think that's like where Giggles will succeed. Um,
Yeah, and actually that's the way harder part is getting distribution. Like I'm good with crypto, but I'm bad at distribution, Like I know all the crypto lingo, but I think you're better poised than most people because you have that marketing expertise. Like the other stuff you can learn pretty quickly, like how to set up a wallet and like how to store your funds securely, things like that, how to engage with Twitter. It's all really easy to learn, but getting your app to actually be used, that's like something very foreign to Twitter and to crypto in general as an industry. We have so many apps that like no one uses. They're kind of cool, and we have some really techie people behind them who really understand all the depths of crypto, but they're bad at distribution. And the fact that you're good at distribution, that makes me really excited about you to see what else you can do. Do you know what you want to do with the funds that you've raised so far from creator fees? Like, do you have a plan for that yet, or are you still figuring out what you want to do with them?
I guess I'll first talk about the distribution thing for 1 second.
Yeah.
Um, it's like I think a lot of crypto, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of crypto startups gain their first user through airdrops.
Yes,
Um,
that's pretty common, and it's a huge
yeah.
reason people get early users is because even if they don't announce an airdrop, people are speculating that they might have an airdrop.
Yeah, and like also I just see them even for Believe app, like a lot of the not a lot, but some of the apps like their users are from Believe. So I feel like that's a fundamental issue. But anyway, um, right now we've gone about 120K, I think, in fees, something around there. Um, and we've used a third of it to buy back so far. Um, and the other part of it is so we've been hiring some developers, especially in the Web3 space, like Edwin. He's an indie product developer. He's a cracked app developer. He's 19 actually. He's been doing apps since he was like 12. Um, but in terms of Web3, he's not an expert on that. So we hired a really good Web3 developer from the Open Tensor, and we're gonna be hiring some more. And also, of course, we want to set aside some for marketing, right? Like like we wish it even viral with nothing spent on marketing, but that's not sustainable. Um, and so we've been talking to a lot of brain rot content creators, um, and we're working with a lot of them. As far as runway goes, that should last us. That will last us enough to actually launch the first edition of the product. Um, yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Tell me more about the brain rot content that you're talking about because I'm 24 and I feel like I'm pretty hip, but I'm also like becoming a boomer slowly. So, like I I see a lot of the young kids spending a lot of time on TikTok and such and like what's the appeal there for all the brain rot? Like why is that what you're staking your company on? Like why is that your focus?
Well, brain rot is sort of this very absurd thing. Um, I mean, so are you familiar with Italian brain rot?
Not really, honestly. No.
It's essentially where like people take an animal and then they take a like there's one character where it's a shark and then they take a Nike shoe and they combine it together and it's like a shark with a Nike shoes on and then they call it like a crazy Italian name and it's insanely viral. Like
Okay,
I mean
awesome.
it's in the New York Times and Forbes. It gets billions of views a day. It's really weird, but I mean that's absurd content. And I guess what we're trying to do is like, the new generation of content creators, like we had Charlie D'Amelio a few years back, but now it's like faceless creators, right? And now with like the introduction of easy to learn lightweight AI tools, there's going to be this new generation of young people who like vibe code the future, right? I mean, I could probably uh, maybe spend a few weeks and learn to vibe code and be able to push out a product. Again, I'm not a technical person, but like technology, AI is moving so fast right now, and there's no social app that's there to catch that. And so I guess like Giggles is sort of this platform to share these deep content experiences um, with users, friends, and the world.
Love it. That's really interesting. Hmm. What's your take on the Believe ecosystem right now, and specifically in the sense of like how the Believe team is supporting its founders? Do you feel supported by the Believe team? Is there more that you want from them? You can kind of riff on that however you want.
Um, I definitely think they're making something good, great. Um, I believe in what Ben Pasternak is doing. Uh, he's definitely not out here trying to rug something for a female, uh, you know. Um, and initially, you know how they launched their API.
Yeah.
Um, we were one of like the early launches, right? And they didn't have like the API announced anywhere. And what we were talking to, because they own like the initial liquidity pool, we talked to Ben about asking like, could that be integrated somehow into our app? And then he was very supportive with that. He was like, right now we don't have any plans with liquidity pool. we're happy to give it to you guys, and that's kind of what they've been like half of it, I think, so far with the AP, the airdrop. I think you tweeted about that actually, right?
I did, yeah. Randomly, I was in New York getting ready to go to Solana Accelerate, and I look on my wallet and I see it increased by a few $1,000s. I'm like, okay, that's weird. What is it? So I looked and I saw I had a bunch of my own coin. Previously, I just had my Solana fees, and so I'm thinking, that's weird. If I got them, probably everyone else got them. And on the Dashcoin research page, I have a link to all the creator wallets of the top about 50 tokens. So I went to Dupe's wallet and I looked in there and I saw they had about $1 million of Dupe airdrop to them. That wasn't there like 2 days ago when I had last looked. And I checked a third wallet and a fourth wallet and I saw everyone just
Hmm.
got a bunch of their tokens to them, and none of the teams knew even. So I DM'd
Yeah, we did
people
not
and
know.
I was like, "Yo, guys, you just got like a huge airdrop," and they didn't even know. So like one of the
Yeah.
things that Belief Team has to do better is talk to us. Like, what are you doing? What's your plans? Give us a heads up. And that's they're working on it. I think it's they're just like any startup. We're figuring this out as we go, and it's totally understandable. And I'm a big supporter of what they're doing. And I love the vision of internet capital markets and being able to sponsor founders and early stage apps and make them into liquid markets. I think that's amazing and there's a lot of potential there.
Hmm.
And I'm here to make it better. That's why I tweeted about that to bring awareness to things like that. And that's why I'm trying to do this podcast and share stories of founders and things like that. So, yeah, when you got that, like, when you saw that, because there was a significant amount of money in Giggles, right?
I think at the time it's like 300K maybe. I don't remember the exact amount.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's great that you now have access to that because I think it's good to be in the hands of the creators, and it allows. I think all the creators have about minimum 5 to like 15% of the total supply of the token because of those fees, and I think that's great to be able to use it in your platform. And so,
Hmm.
on that note, do you know exactly what you want to use Giggles for in the platform yet, or are you still kind of figuring that out?
For the exact numbers, we haven't. I mean, obviously, uh, the numbers will change. So again, like the engagement metric of Aura is going to be kind of integral to how, um, like how the Giggles is integrated into like the Giggles token is integrated with the app. Um, but essentially, what we kind of have right now, like rough user overview, you start out with a certain amount of Aura points, a randomized amount. Kind of like Horoscope actually. Like we measure out your aura because right now there's apps like the Looksmax app, um, the Riz app, like people like seeing how much I guess attractiveness that they have, or especially young people. And so that's what we're gonna do with the aura points. And we're the numbers we have right now. Posting a video costs 1 aura point, and it'll automatically int like a video NFT which can be offered for 24 hours, like auctioned. And then after that period, it's owned by like, whoever won the auction. And essentially, we want to. There's been a lot of like apps that have tried to make it so that people can own either image like our IP or video IP. Um, but we haven't really seen it done properly on, I guess, like viral content. And so we want that's where the aura engagement comes in. Like when the viewer looks at a video they like, they can give it aura, or they can actually like decrease the aura. And so these creators, like, they can pay out their aura points on a milestone basis into Giggles coin. So then, they take they're able to monetize their content. And aura holders themselves, like, we're not 100% sure yet, but this is probably going to happen. They're we haven't announced this yet anywhere, but like we're trying to work out how they can, I guess, own a percentage of the transaction volume that we get. So like, incentivizing them to giving, I guess, more value to the Aura metric, right? We can launch we can launch an app right now, and we can probably get 1 million downloads. Like, between our email signups and like just market the hell out of it. But to retain users, that's where the aura really matters. And I guess like, people want to be on an app. Creators want to be on an app where they can actually properly monetize, like actually monetize off of. And yes, and that's what we have for Giggles Coin so far.
Awesome. Yeah, that's one thing that's really exciting to me about crypto is how we can kind of financialize other things that currently are not financialized, like viewership. I mean, as a content consumer, it sounds like you might even be able to earn money. Like
Hmm.
there's a concept that I've been playing around with that I've seen on Twitter a few times is like what if you could like buy shares of a YouTube video or a TikTok reel
Hmm.
and you are speculating that, it'll go up in value because maybe each share is like you get a portion of the ad revenue that that video generates. So it's a direct link between the profitability of the video and your share of the video. So you're not only speculating on will people want to buy it, you're going to be speculating on like will you earn revenue from that. And I
Hmm.
I, I feel like that's a great idea. I have no idea how to do it. I don't know if it's a great idea because I have a lot of bad ideas. But like it sounds really cool to be able to monetize a video like that and to bet on videos and to bet on people and creators like that. Do you have any thoughts on that like whole
Yeah.
like
I mean,
idea?
I guess like right now, there is no way that I'm like people launch meme coins for trends, and that's sort of like I guess how they're like betting on virality. Just a poly market, but that's kind of different. That's all third party though. Like we want to have it native in the app, and also one thing that a lot of Web3 social startups I think get wrong, I guess in terms of distribution, is they sort of release like a copy of TikTok or Twitter, and then slap a coin on it and call it a day. It's not creating new behaviors. Like the an app that's actually adopted has to create like an entirely new kind of behavior, and also for the mass consumer, like they cannot be required to have a phantom wallet to use the app. And having dollar signs on every post. Like I think there's it was called Steam It, right? It's like
Yes.
Reddit, but there's just like money on it. Um, I mean, it's a cool idea, but I feel like I just don't see it getting anywhere. And so that's kind of why we're targeting Gen Z and Alpha. I mean, the younger demographic Gen Z. It's a very narrow market, but like Web3 startups, they sort of just target everybody, or especially Web3 social startups, and I think that's wrong. Um, I guess like when Facebook first started, right, they only had college students. That's for a reason. Like you want to make sure that you're you're optimizing for an initial audience before, and also like it's easier to get younger people on an app. Like they have a higher brain elasticity, right? Like I'm not gonna get my dad to get on like Neil's app. That's not the goal.
Yeah, and they have more time too. The younger generation, like a lot of adults have like full time jobs and whatnot, but kids have time in school and stuff to try new apps and they have that more desire. And I think that's good that you
Hmm.
so your target demographic. What would you say like your target user is? If you could give them like a profile, like a hypothetical example.
Yeah, our target user is sort of 13 to around 24, um, and a little bit more on the like male side, just because of the nature of um, like how we're kind of approaching it as like brain rot. But
Are
yeah,
males more likely to consume brain rot content?
a little bit.
Hmm. That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. But I guess it kind of makes sense because it's more absurd than like a normal piece of content, and
Mhm.
like the absurdity is part of the fun of sharing it, and that it does kind of strike me as like a young male behavior to show your friends like stupid, random crap.
Yeah,
Because
no, I mean like every kid knows about these brain rot characters. It's crazy. I'm in town right now, and like I have some friends in town. Like Brainrot's international, man. Like, everybody knows it.
That's awesome. It's a global market. The closest thing that I can think of like super brain rot when I was little was something called YouTube poops. Someone would like take
Right.
a video of like they take like a SpongeBob episode and like edit it super heavily to make it heinous and vulgar, and I always thought that was hilarious. I still like
That's not
that.
what I did with YouTube.
That's like the first, that's like where I feel like where it started. That's super interesting, man. Super cool. What's exciting you the most about Giggles? Like what any milestones coming up that you're super stoked about, or like features? You can take it pretty broad.
Um, well, what we kind of want to do, so Believe has a lot of products right now, um, and some of them, I don't want to name names, but like, I guess some of them, just like we have a our app is very complicated. We have a lot of features, um, and we have the video app, we have an AI generation tool, we have like a AI person you can talk to. We have something that measures your aura, and that like kind of encapsulates like a lot of the Believe apps right now, I guess. But we don't want to launch like something that is just hyped up for a little bit, and maybe someone downloads it just to try out, to measure their aura one time and get off it forever. Um, and like crypto Twitter is not our target user demographic. Like, we probably will get some users from crypto Twitter because of the coin. Um, but like real adoption is going to be with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, and that's what we're focusing on marketing to. Um, so we kind of have to verify our product market fit, and that's why we're going to be launching like these side projects before we launch like the actual app, and that will like I guess bring attraction to Giggles as well. Like again, I love doing viral market sense. I think this first project that we'll do should be pretty crazy. I
Can
spent
you
a lot
spill
on
the alpha on what exactly that side project is, or is it still a secret under construction?
I think I kind of mentioned it in my Telegram, in the Telegram group chat. It's sort of like it's like dating related, which should
Nice,
be part of the Giggles app, but and also it'll start using Aura.
super fun. Well, we're coming up at time, but this was really fun so far. If people want to follow you, where should they go?
I guess the target demographic here is crypto Twitter, right? I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's
So
who's going to be
Twitter,
listening.
I guess Twitter is fine. Yeah, I don't really post on Instagram or TikTok. I like making things go viral, but I don't like post stuff about myself too much, except for Twitter right now. So yeah,
So
Twitter's
Twitter
perfect.
and the Giggles website. Sign up for the
Hmm.
wait list. I'll link your Twitter below, and most people will probably find you from there anyway. Well, Justin, this was really fun. I hope we can do a follow up episode in a couple weeks, maybe. That'd be nice. But thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate your time.
Actually, plus, yeah. Hopefully next time my their co-founders will be able to join.
That'd be a lot of fun.